So I've already recorded the video, but I've got to re-record this bit because when I looked at it after finishing, this was the entire first clip. I have no idea why that happened. I was starting the recording, not ending it, so I have no idea. Now I have to re-record the beginning part. But today's the 31st of July, which means it's time to talk about the games that I played in July. As always, let me know down below what you played for the month and what games are worth checking out. The games that I want to play myself, outside of recommendations, are already taking up a lot of time, so might be a while before I get to them. But if there's something that I already want to play and I see a bunch of people recommend it, maybe I'll get to it sooner. But anyway, I didn't play that many games this month, but what I did play, I played a lot of. So yeah, that being said, let's get straight into it. One game I played this month was Ratchet & Clank, the first game. This is a series that I have started before. I have actually played the first game before, I just never finished it, only made it a couple worlds in. And also played Rift Apart whenever that came out, because it was one of the only games on the PS5. This time I want to start from the beginning and play through the entire series over the next few months, or however long it takes. They're not incredibly long games. I've always been interested in this series, always. I remember watching trailers back in the day when I was a kid of the PS3 games. I don't know which one it was, which PS3 Ratchet & Clank game it was, but I remember watching it, wishing it would release on Xbox one day. Yeah, I knew nothing about exclusive games, but I can finally play them now. So Ratchet & Clank 1, I haven't finished it yet, only started it a couple of days ago. So far, it's very good. It's a bit clunky at times. I imagine they're going to improve on that as the series goes on. But for the first entry in a series, this is a solid game. You just go from world to world as Ratchet, and other times you'll also be in control of Clank, and he'll have his own little missions where he gets to control the gadget bots, I think they're called. You can have them attack enemies for you, but eventually you'll need them to solve a puzzle, or you need a certain amount of them to open a door or something. The weapons are pretty fun so far. I imagine I'm really gonna like this whole series. But the ones I'm really looking forward to playing are the PS3 games. I don't know if they are the best ones, but they look very fun. I'm playing it on the PlayStation 5. I do own a PS3 and I do own the majority of the games, but I'm playing it on the PS5. I'm not sure if I'll continue to do that for the series because you have to stream every single one of them. And I was playing like mid-mission and my internet went out and I just got kicked out of the game. So I don't know if I'll want to continue doing that for the rest of the series. It's just more of a convenient thing to be able to play it on the PS5. I might switch out to the PS3 though, depending on how it goes. Next up we have Crash Bandicoot 4. Obviously, I played this the day it came out, before it even came out, because if you guys didn't know, I do have a Crash Bandicoot channel. But I never 106% completed this game. I never fully completed it because the shit that this game requires you to do to fully complete it and get the Platinum Trophy as well is insane. In fact, only 0.2% of people that played the game have the Platinum Trophy. But this month I decided to finish it, and I spent a lot of time going back and finishing up each level, getting all of the collectibles. It was tough, but it was a lot of fun. My total playtime for that save file came to about 107 hours. Which is insane for a platforming game. But again, I had a lot of fun getting the Platinum Trophy, coming back to the game. It was difficult, but I really enjoyed it overall. I'll be talking about it more on my Crash channel because, you know, that's the entire purpose of my Crash channel, to talk about Crash. But it was a lot of fun, and it was definitely the most difficult Platinum Trophy that I've got. And that's after Elden Ring, that's after the Dark Souls Platinum, that's after Bloodborne. And I really struggled on Bloodborne, especially with them Chalice dungeons. Who would look at these two covers and think, yeah, this is going to be the harder one to get the Platinum for? But anyway, I grew up with this series, so I did not get burnt out by playing it and completing it, and a few days later I moved on to Crash Bandicoot for the PS1. Now, I've already played the remake a couple times of Crash 1, but I haven't ever played the PS1 version. The remake of Crash 1 has a lot of differences with the original. Crash 2 and Crash Warped are a lot more similar, but with Crash 1 there's some pretty major changes. In the original, you had to beat every level and collect all the crates without dying a single time, in every level. The remake changes that, and you only have to do that in a select few levels that have colored gems. Any other level that has a clear gem, all you have to do in the remake is collect all the crates. You can die as much as you want and just go back to a checkpoint. As long as you collect all the crates, you'll get the gem. In the original, you have to do every level without dying to get the clear gem or the colored gems. There's a couple other changes as well, but that's the big major difference, and that's why I wanted to play it. I mainly struggled with the controls. Crash has like this kind of delay after he spins a crate which can sometimes fling you off an edge or a platform or something if it's quite small. But outside of that, I think the PS1 game holds up very well. I think it's my favorite of the two versions aesthetically. I think levels like Sunset Vista still look incredible even for today. The game holds up very well overall. I'm glad that I played it. It was a lot of fun 100%ing it, and there were a couple difficult levels in there, but again, Crash 4 has conditioned me. I don't think there'll be another Crash game that can ever come close, unless Crash 5 does something similar, but let's hope it doesn't. And finally, the last thing that I played this month was Final Fantasy XIV Dawn Trail. The new expansion for Final Fantasy XIV, my first expansion launch as well, because I started playing the game before Endwalker came out, but I was still in A Realm Reborn when it released. It was only about halfway through Endwalker's lifespan when I finished all of the MSQ. I did a massive grind of the MSQ over a course of a few months, and I don't know, I kind of wish that I didn't do that, because it meant that, you know, going from A Realm Reborn straight to Heavensward, straight to Stormblood, straight to Shadowbringer, straight to Endwalker, none of it got to really sit with me. I kind of was just rushing it because I was like, I've got so much to do. I want to catch up before the next expansion. I didn't even know how release schedules worked back then. I didn't know I had 2 years or a year and a half or something. Either way, Dawn Trail is out. You know, the launch is only part of the expansion. This is going to be the thing for the next 2 years. Overall, though, it seems to be a solid expansion. I know some people aren't quite happy with the main scenario. I enjoyed it enough. I thought it was off to a bit of a slow start, but it picked up. I enjoyed all the locations. I didn't dislike Wuk-Lamat like a lot of other people seem to. Normal content has improved a lot. Just basic dungeons, trials, normal raids. They've really stepped up their game. I really like the hub zones, Taliolo. Solution 9 really shows off the new graphics update with the reflections and whatnot. Solution 9 is a really nice area, especially the music. Man, they cooked up with the music in this zone. The raids were fun. I think by the time this video goes out, the Savage versions will be out, so I'll be doing those just casually over the next month or two. The tournament theme is amazing. I like tournament themes in pretty much anything, to be honest. Like the Dark Tournament arc in Yu Yu Hakusho, that's my favorite arc of the whole show. I just like tournaments, and that's what this is. So I'm looking forward to seeing the next raids as well, but this first couple fights are really good. I really enjoyed the first 2 extreme trials as well. Valigar was probably my favorite extreme trial that I've done in the game so far, and like, I've not done that many. I've only done, I think, from Rubicante onwards, which is like 3. That's like 3 trials, but still, I think it's a really good fight to be an introduction for a lot of people doing it for the first time in Dawn Trail. Like, there's really good recovery rate, I would say, if people are dying to certain things. Another thing I really liked about Valigar Manda was the tank busters, actually, because the whole group actually has to do something while the tanks are soaking the hits. You know, it's directional, so you actually have to keep moving, keep looking out for where the safe spot's going to be. It's not much, but it's more than doing nothing while the tanks are off doing their thing. The second extreme trial was good as well. There was a funny little glitch when I did it, when it first came out. The debuff that you had to cleanse or get rid of before it expired didn't actually do anything when it expired. And if you combine that with the fact that the wall isn't actually deadly in this raid, it meant that you could just go out in the wall, ignore the whole mechanic, and then let the debuff expire on its own. Again, I think they've already fixed that at this point. They fixed it a couple days after it came out. And it only skipped an easy mechanic. Everyone ended up just standing in a straight line, but still, it was funny. Music goes hard in that trial, as does a lot of music in this game. Yeah, I mean, the extreme trials were really fun overall. I kind of burnt myself out with this game, honestly, because I did the main scenario, then I did a bunch of fates. I think I maxed out 5 zones to rank 4 before I got a bit burnt out. So I haven't really leveled too many jobs to 100. I've leveled Summoner, which is my main job. I really like Summoner. I like the theme a lot, and its simplicity is also what I enjoy about it, because when I'm doing a raid, I like to just look at the raid itself, look at the mechanics, and not really worry about what I'm doing on my job. For some people, that's not enough. That's boring. So, you know, I understand why they wouldn't play Summoner, but for me, I enjoy it. So I had to level that first, and I leveled Dark Knight as well. I really hate Shadow Stride. I just don't think I think getting rid of Plunge was really stupid. Dark Knight, in my opinion, still needs a bit of change. I don't main this job, but I think it should get a bit more self-healing. I think Abyssal Drain, if you could just use it more than once per minute, it would be a lot better to play in something like a dungeon. But outside of that, I don't really play it, so I'm not going to talk too much about it. Summoner, though, at 100, kinda shit. Solar Bahamut looks really cool, don't get me wrong, but why is he here? I would have preferred just a different summon from the series. Just anything really. Searing Flash is just an extra button to press after your buff. Sure, it's a bit of extra damage, but look, I understand Summoner's not that busy, I understand, but adding one button to press, it's just not going to change too much. Kind of, it doesn't feel that good of a skill to press, you know? Some skills have weight to them. They feel powerful when you push those buttons, but Searing Flash does not much for me. The one thing I do like is the Solar Bahama AoE heal. Sometimes it's useless depending on when you have it, but in a lot of times, it's actually quite useful. Just a bit of extra healing for the party. You know, my dream summoner in this game would be the same thing it is now, but in a loadout format, and it will never happen. But imagine if they added like 10 summons from the series, and you got to pick the 3 that you wanted to use in between Bahama and Phoenix. So you know how you got Ifrit, you got Titan, and you've got Garuda? Imagine if you could pick 3 of your own. I would just like it if they added more, you know? It's kind of why Solar Bahama I'm just not that big of a fan of, because it could have been something else. I don't know, I really hope we get to see something else at some point, but it's not looking like it's going to happen anytime soon. You know, some people want to see the job improve in terms of how much you've got to do and how easy it is. I don't give a shit about that. I like that. I actually just want to see more summons, because I really like summoners in the Final Fantasy series, and there's so many cool summons that we could have. Anyway, I think that's all I have to say. Good expansion launch in my opinion. Oh, also they did really good with the queues on day one. Like seriously, there was a bit of a big queue to begin with, but after that, it was fine. Queue was like 50 people. They really improved on that. So for my first expansion launch, it was smooth. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Looking forward to seeing what the rest of Dawn Trail offers. I'll be doing Savage over the next month or two. Looking forward to seeing what the ultimates are going to be. I mean, we already know what one of them is, but you know, looking forward to actually seeing the fight in a couple of months. And the rest of the Arcadian raids, I think they're going to be quite fun. That being said, thank you for watching. I hope you all enjoyed. Again, let me know down below what you played in July. Thank you for watching. Definitely subscribe if you're new here, and I'll see you all in my next video.